Come on! Move! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode, long overdue, of A Dairyman's Diary. My name is Frank, your humble host, as always, and it is miserable, people. The only thing this weather is good for is making me being happy and relieved that we've got all of our maize harvest in the books, and we can now focus on just doing some winter jobs and keeping the cattle all fed up, really, because it is wet, it is cold, and there's not a lot happening. But for now, we're going to feed everything up this evening. As you can see, it is still raining, so sadly there's no way I can get around doing this without getting wet. But never mind. We've got the 7740 fired up with the feeder on the back. We're just going to put a couple of bucket loads of silage into here. And then we need to get some straw from around the other end of the yard and maybe stick a couple of bales of hay in here as well. And that'll be them done for the rest of the day. But yeah, it is a wet, cold day here at Meadow Grove, but there's not a lot we can do about that. It is late autumn now, so we're kicking into end of October, just about to turn into November, where it's going to be really super cold. For the most part, the cattle are all inside these days. There isn't a lot of grass out there, so they stay indoors where they get fed up and they can keep themselves nice and dry, and ultimately just a little bit happier, really. It's the best way to look at it. So yeah, we're going to leave them there to just keep on doing what they're doing, and we're starting to put a lot more straw down in the pens as well to keep them bedded up nicely. So they're probably going to be due some more tomorrow, actually. So we'll likely do that after the milk run, and then yeah, everything else is good. Keeping them all happy. Tomorrow, actually, we're going to go off and buy well, we've already bought it. We need to go and pick up a new slurry lagoon. It's like a mobile slurry bowser, really. Just because we're having a bit of an issue keeping on top of the amount of slurry we're actually creating at the moment. As we've increased our cattle size, the lagoon's not big enough to handle the amount of slurry that we're going to be producing. So the idea being, we're going to grab hold of this thing, and then probably with the aid of a contractor coming in tomorrow, we're going to ship a whole load of slurry from where it's in the current lagoon down to this mobile unit. So that will be the next thing on the list to do. We're getting into that kind of time of year where it's a lot of odd jobs, really, just getting things ticked off around the yard, keeping everything kind of shipshape, really. So that's what we're focusing on. We're just going to squeeze through here. We need to get another bale of hay. We'll get a couple of bales of straw as well to put into here, and that should see us right for this evening. In that evening feed, we often do a lot more straw-based rather than hay-based mixed ration, just to kind of beef them up a little bit. They get the minerals and nutrients they need and the proteins from the silage, but this just gives them a little bit of extra food, really. And then in the morning, after milking, they get a really heavy, nutrient-rich feed as well. So we'll get at least one bale of straw here. Will one be sufficient? No, I might leave this one here. I'll grab two from the top, please, Carol. Why not? Nice little countdown reference there for everybody. We'll take those two. Splendid. So how are you all today anyway? I hope you're doing very well. It's been a while. I've been a little bit busy of late, so unfortunately I haven't been able to upload too many episodes to my good friend Simulation for the Nation. He hasn't been able to process too many of my videos, but hopefully that should change. We're back now. So with any luck, that'll be us back for a while. Yeah, very happy that yesterday we were able to not only get the maize silage lifted and clamped, but also to get the actually let's go keep it this side. Also to be able to get the slurry put down onto the field as well, so that can get had a chance to get it worked in. I think that was very important to do. Oh, my tractor's going to be getting wet. I left the door open. We'll get a bale of hay and then we're good to go. Been doing a bit of investigation, and the price of straw is... Oh, no. The price of straw is going up and up and up at the moment, so I'm really hoping we've got enough. I was at that auction for some standing straw, a while ago, and it was at about £100 a ton, or £100 an acre for standing straw. And I can only imagine it's gone up since then because it's been a pretty poor harvest. So a lot of straw is in demand and there's not a lot of it in supply. So the price is only going to skyrocket. So yeah, I really hope we have sufficient quantities. But I guess only time will tell on that front. For now though, that should do it for the ration. We're going to leave this here. Jump back into the mighty Ford and we'll get everything fed up. Get our door shut. Okay then, so we need to kind of reverse into here as always. This Keenan's a little bit heavy, but we're going to reverse in and then we'll engage the PTO when we get down to the bottom there. Just makes it a little bit easier. Need to go a bit further forward. Okay. Oh, never the easiest thing to see into here. That's the first gate, that's the wrong one. It's always a bit of a trial and error. Sometimes I think I've nailed it and I get it perfect, and then the next day I'm way out, so what can you do? We are going to hopefully get these guys mucked out again tomorrow morning. I think they're going to need it. So we'll have to see. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much today and we can actually get onto the fields. That'd be good. Get straightened up a little bit there. Awesome. Excellent job. Get some lights on the back as well so we can see what we're doing. So what we're going to do, we're going to get these guys fed up here this evening, we'll get all this done, and then we'll come back to you tomorrow and we'll go and pick up our Slurry Lagoon and see what we can get figured out from there. So we will catch you later on down the line. Good morning everybody, welcome back. It's a beautiful day today, unlike yesterday's catastrophe. This is a lovely old day. We've got everything fed up, the milk is being taken away, and we're going to jump back into our lovely old voucher today. It's been a while. We'll get this fired up and we're going to go and take a trundle on down to the store where we'll get up, pick up our new Slurry Lagoon, mobile Slurry Lagoon, and then yeah, we're going to get the contractor to come in sooner rather than later and get this all filled up, which will be fantastic news. And this is the easiest makeshift way I can find at the moment to increase our storage capacity. Now obviously one of the easiest routes would be to just dig the lagoon deeper. Now the problem we have with that, we're getting awfully close to the water table, which we don't want to go underneath, because then that'll mean our lagoon's going to flood. And additionally, it's still full, so I need to get rid of the slurry first before I can do any work with that. So that's what we need to think about. But for now, like I say, we've got this solution. It does mean as well that we can often transport this around from field to field, which will speed up when we are applying slurry in the spring onto our silage ground. It's not going to be as much of an issue to try and get to that silage ground. So that's kind of what we're thinking there, at least, and it should be interesting to see how that all plays out, really. Still got my indicator on, but for now, as I say there, we're going to make our way over, pick this up, stick it on the back of the tractor, and then I think we'll take a bit of a moment to kind of figure out where we should tip this, really. That's going to be the best idea, or where we should place it for now. We'll see from there. So I'd like to welcome along all the new subscribers. Hope you're doing very well today. Welcome into Simulation for the Nation. Do let me know down below where you're watching from, what you're getting up to, and also if you're working in the same region as me here in Meadow Grove, do let me know what you're doing. And our paths may have crossed in the past. Who knows? Now that all of our heavy cultivation work's done, I think I really want to get on to servicing the tractors again. Get everything worked out, get everything cleaned over. It's going to be a busy year next year, what with all of our spring crops we need to drill, a lot more maize we're going to put into the ground this year, and also we'll be back on the silage before we know it, really. A couple of random bales here, I don't know whose they belong to. It's a bit of an odd thing to have here. But this is our new little slurry lagoon, so we're going to just hook this up and we'll have a quick look at it. So as you can see, it is just fairly bog standard. We've got hydraulic rams on the wheels to lift it up. I can just sit it down after that. We've got 2 pumps on the back, or 2 pipes on the back to connect our hoses to, so we can have a full operation there. And just hook up our vacuum tanker straight onto this when it's full, and then that should save us. I think there's probably about 3 or 4 trips worth of slurry here for our tanker at least, so it's a much faster operation, that's for sure. But for now, we'll trundle our way back home with this. Or see where we're going to put it at least. It is a bit of a thing to carry. It's pretty big. Probably going to clip some trees with it because it's got a bit of height to it as well. However, what I'm thinking, I'm going to bring up our little map here. I am thinking that we're going to go and take this north. Beg your pardon, no, we're going to take this south. We're going to go down to kind of below the sheep farm there, where we have a few little bits and pieces. We're going to go and take this down to probably stick it in the corner of field 7, I think. That's probably the easiest one to get into freely with a tanker to tip into here. So we're going to take this down to there. We can get this all parked up out of the way, and that should be a good place for us to start. So we will trundle our way on down there, we'll get this all hooked, dropped off, and then we'll see if we can get someone to come and fill this up for us. Okie dokie folks, here we are, we're down at the very corner of field 7. As I said, we've got a big double gate here. I think we're just going to stick it straight into there because it's easiest for when we lead slurry down here. It's likely going to be in a big tanker via a contractor, so if that's the case, we want to have plenty of space to get in and out. Maybe one day we'll look at seeing if we can find a way to load it over the hedge, perhaps. But yeah, we might just stick that in the corner here for now. Get a bit closer to the hedge. That'll be perfect. Stick it into here, and then we can just leave it here and forget about it for now, really, which is ideal. And then yeah, because we put a bit of slurry down onto the whole crop field, we're not in an immediate hurry to have to empty the lagoon, but we are going to be fairly soon, so we don't want to hang around too much. That's lovely. Excellent, so we're going to take this back up to the yard. We've got some sheds to muck out, amongst many other things, a few little jobs to do around the yard, and hopefully we'll get, like I say, we'll get this contractor to arrive sooner rather than later, and we can make some ground with figuring all that out. So we'll catch you back up the yard there, where we'll likely have a snazzy little crossfade here or something, whatever Simulation 4 Nation can do, and you'll see me behind the wheel of my trusty Lodal. Well, welcome back, good morning folks. As predicted, we are here in our lovely trusty old Lodal. We've got all of our morning chores done, everyone's happy, the sun's out, so the cows are venturing outside a little bit more, which is great to see. And we're just going to try and get this cattle yard cleaned out a little bit. It's not too wet in the field either, so we can lead this straight in without any issues, which is awesome news, and yeah, hopefully we'll get this all done nice and quickly. Oh, let's stop that. Perfect. Lovely blue skies today, which is a fantastic change, I must say. Really good. We're trying to get hold of a contractor to come in and get this slurry bowser filled up, but no such joy yet, but we'll keep trying. Just trying to see someone who's free enough at the moment to actually come in and give us a hand with it. Okie dokie. So it's not too bad in here actually today. It's a little bit of a mess, but it's always been worse. The cattle seem happy enough, let's put it that way. And up we go. We've got quite a nice pile. I'm aiming to, there's a field that we're going to drill in the spring, and hopefully if the weather's good enough in the spring, I'd like to get this, we've got quite a heap of muck there now, I'd like to get that put onto the field first if it's going to work out for me. But we'll have to wait and see, fingers crossed and all of that. See what the weather brings. Usually it brings a whole load of mess, but we'll see. We will see. This JCB, since we purchased this, it's been an absolute workhorse on the yard. It does absolutely everything. It must get used for a steady 2 hours a day minimum. And that's just kind of on the bedding up and feeding up in the morning and evening. So without this, we'd be absolutely lost for sure. Okay, maybe one more load out of here. That should just about do it. Come on! Move! No! Never move for me. Sorry, Bethel. And of course, they're throwing most of their food at breakfast out onto the floor as well. So I'll have to go and tidy all of that when we're done. Excellent. Elsewhere, other news on the farm at the moment, that my house is coming along nicely. The interior is all roughly all plumbed in now. Everything's about finished there, so it really shouldn't be too long until we get the decorators in, and then we'll be almost finished there, which is great news. Very much looking forward to be able to fully move in up here. Once we have that done, then I'm not really sure. We have no other plans in the future to extend anything on the yard. All of our kind of extension work is, well, we're kind of done with that for now. But we'll have to wait and see. At the moment, the parlour is working nicely. We've got no need to expand that, and the storage sheds are working well. We are relinquishing, I think, control or use of the sheep yard, so everything will be up here in one capacity or another. So that's quite exciting news. Really cuts down our cost of the rent of the sheep yard. Let someone else swallow those, and then that should be us good to go. So it will be interesting to see how that goes moving forward. But for now, yeah, it just was something that we didn't really need. But excellent. We're just going to park this back up here. I'll shut my gates because, well, they are an adventurous little bunch of animals, and they'll like to try and get out here whenever they can. So we'll keep that shut. And we'll open that back up so we can forward out in a moment. But for now, we'll just jump into the John Deere. We're going to take this around the corner, go through the village. It's really not that far. I quite like the late spring or late autumn, early winter, because it's a nice time just to get a lot of other kind of smaller field work done and get it all out the way and off the books, which is a good refreshing change actually. So it's kind of nice time. I'm always quite productive at this time of year. Obviously when we get into the spring and then summer, harvest kind of swallows up a lot of my time and effort. So you never really get to spend as much time just doing jobs around the yard as one would perhaps like. The glorious 6810s is rumbling through the village here. Okay, so we're just up over here around the corner. We're going to get this tipped out, and then we'll see what we've got in store from there. And we'll just stick this right back in the corner here, without tipping the trailer over. That'd be ideal. And then yeah, the heap is growing. Alright then, all good to go here, and we can just pull ourselves away. I think we might shut this gate actually as well. It wouldn't hurt just to keep unwanted people out of here, I suppose. Oh, breathe in. Ooh. Excellent stuff. So that's another good job done. The yard's looking a little tidier for it, and we'll get this trailer pulled away under cover somewhere. I think actually we might put this in a different location. I think yes. We're going to put this. We might just go down here today because we've already got one trailer at the yard there. We haven't really got much space for another one. So we'll just go down our little track here. This is where we've got a lot of our spring crops in the ground already, which is looking good. Looking very good actually. That little bit of rain they had yesterday really did kick those on, so that's going to be quite nice. They can stay like that until the springtime, where we'll come back in and give them another dose of the, probably get some T1s on just to help them really grow through. But yeah, ultimately it's looking very nice. Now I just need to reverse this back into the shed. Excellent. Okie dokie. Well, we'll hook this here, and then we'll take the tractor back up the yard there, and we'll have a look around the yard, see what else we can get tidied up whilst the day is still young. Lovely stuff. Back in the yard, plenty of things left to do here. Lovely blue sky still. We are going to just putter on for the rest of the day and get a few little jobs ticked off here. I might try and get this yard sorted out a little bit, shuffle a few things around, because some of the sheds could be a little bit better optimized with the way things are stored. This one, for example, get some more of the grassland tucked away in here, or the grassland equipment where we don't quite need it for now. That'll be ideal. So we're going to work on that one, and then we will get everything looking a bit more spick and span, really. So we will leave it here. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Simulation for the Nation. If you have yet to do so, he very kindly hosts my videos. And we will see you in the next one. We'll be coming back with a few more videos because I've got a bit more time to record. And we will yeah, get these uploaded as quickly as we can. So until next time, I have been Frank, your humble host. I hope you have enjoyed. Do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing, but most importantly, happy farming.